This record as always. Boom. So we're recording. So it's Wednesday, September 9th, another day. We're about to get into the markets, see what's going on. So welcome to our live trading session. Real quick, I just wanted to say thank you guys all for your support. We really appreciate you guys hopping on. We know we're providing value, but we do appreciate you guys making this community what it is, showing up every single day. Some of you, for you new people, welcome to the live session. Pretty much what I'm going to go over is I'm going to go over all the pairs that I'm looking at for today, including the dollar index. And if there are some trade opportunities, then I will give them out. So Nick's going to hop on in a second here. I'm going to pretty much just get started. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post in the chat. Post in the chat. This session is for you guys, so take advantage. It's completely free, and we'll talk about later on, announcing what's going on with the course and some other things. But let's get into it. Let's hop on the charts. Let's get on to DXY right here. Let's hop to the weekly time frame. So as always, guys, we're going to start from the weekly time frame, do some top-down analysis. This is the dollar index, so this is the value of the US dollar. Can the election pull? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on right now with USD. We could even go back into the Discord, look into our fundamental analysis chat and read through, what's going on with USD. But basically, long story short, is the dollar index was very overextended. USD was very bearish. It was due for a correction at some point. We're starting to get that correction now, it seems like. We got Nick joining up. What's up? What's up? So we're starting to get that correction now, it seems like. We still got to be wary on the weekly time frame, what's going on. We're pulling back into the moving average. We've been talking about all week. We haven't been taking any positions, but I have been talking about targets for DXY, for these USD pairs, where we could potentially find resistance on this higher time frame, on this weekly. And again, this weekly time frame is moving right now. We've got the moving average right here. That's going to be our first target to the upside. And then, beyond that, we've got this monthly key level, down to the daily time frame. Pretty much, we got to be wary that we're looking at a very similar situation as up here. We've got this lower high that formed and then pushed downward. Here we have the same thing. We're pulling back. Moving averages are crossing right now. So what that means is momentum, obviously, on every time frame below this is very bullish, guys. Very bullish. That's when we really got to utilize this weekly time frame. And the weekly time frame, there are some resistance levels up here, but everything's pointing that this thing's going to continue heading higher right now, down to the 4-hour time frame, cross the 200-day. So momentum really shifted here on this time frame, and everything below this again is very bullish. So with that in mind, that the dollar index is getting very bullish, let's start to look at some other pairs. Let's take a look. The weekly time frame. So USD CAD, again, overall trend right now is bullish in this weekly time frame. It has been, but we've been in this bearish retracement for quite some time. Basically ever since March all the way up here, we've been in this bearish, move. We're getting a little bit of a correction. We don't know if this is the be all end all for USD. There's a lot going on right now with USD trying to stabilize the dollar. But on this weekly time frame, we are at a demand zone, which is why we're finding all these buyers. We are at this key level of support. So again, like on those other time frames, where are our targets? We've got this weekly level up here that we could find some resistance at, and we're testing the moving averages actually right now. So down to the daily time frame. Daily time frame is overall very bearish, but we're getting this pullback right now. We're getting this pullback to the weekly level. Obviously, moving averages are crossing, so every time frame below here is bullish. So this thing is lining up to be pretty bullish on every time frame right now. On UCAD, on the weekly, daily, or not, the daily is bearish. It's in a retracement, but obviously momentum right now is bullish. But 4-hour time frame, we could bump down there. 4-hour time frame, we had broken this level, then we had broken this level. Now we're retesting this demand zone. Pretty much the last line of defense here, 200-day moving average, finding some rejection off that level. But we need to see a bit more before getting short on this. Pretty much what we're looking at here is we're either going to reject out of this level. And again, guys, everything is very, very ugly right now, very sloppy. We got to wait for structure to form on these time frames. Things are really just pulling back. They're finding a lot of volume, with the US dollar, as we've been very bearish, for quite some time, pretty much ever since March. So we got to be patient right now. But pretty much what we're looking at on this is we're either looking to get long, retest this demand zone, on this higher low, get long, or it's going to fall off from this area, get a little bit of a retest from this zone and go short. So these are two opportunities with USEF. Let's bump over, or with UCAD, let's bump over to USEF. Let's go up to the weekly. Let's go all the way up to the monthly. So monthly time frame on USEF is very bearish, red over blue, trending downward for quite some time. Now we're coming to this monthly level of support. We're starting to pull back from that level right now. So let's hit down to the weekly time frame. Again, very bearish, but we are finding, this bullish pressure down at this monthly level. We have to be careful though, guys. This thing has been bearish for quite some time. We've seen previously, pullbacks, bullish pullbacks. They're always followed by these fall offs. So right now, how far this thing could come up is to be determined. We could look for opportunities in these zones, but I'm more trying to see what are our targets. Daily time frame. This is definitely a target. This resistance level right here. This is definitely a level that this thing could push up to. And why do I say that? It's because look previously when this thing touched this level, found a ton of support, ripped to the upside. And on the flip side, when we found this level, we hit this level, found a ton of resistance, went down to the downside. So I imagine this level has a ton of orders waiting for it right up there. And that is where right now we're really anticipating this thing moving to. Reason why I haven't been too opportune on trying to get in on any sort of buy positions right now is because look at these wicks, wick, a lot of wicks. All that's telling me is that when we have a lot of buying momentum, it's being met by selling pressure. And look previously, same situation, a lot of wicks, falls off. Same situation, wick, fall off, wicks, fall off. And here we've just been getting a lot of wicks pushing up. So this thing is finding a lot of buyers at this level despite the selling pressure right now. So I just want to look at the 4-hour time frame. Why are we not going to enter at these highs right now? Pretty much 4-hour time frame had been bearish until, let's look at this. Pretty much this had been bearish, utilize this trend line right there. You could even look, this was a descending channel. We bring on, boom, this, and this. So a little bit of a channel, don't even need to mark that, but pretty much we were falling off, then we broke, made this new high, pulled back, made this higher low, and then went to the upside. This was the higher low that I was really watching, waiting to see if it broke or not. Even more conservatively was this level. I believe I had this marked on previous live sessions. And even if we waited for that level, we had the break above here, a little bit of a retest, and this thing ripsawed to the upside. So this thing has been showing some buying opportunities all the way down to the 30-minute, where would we have entered on this when this broke, made this high, pulled back. Entry opportunities for us are always through the moving averages. So we would have had an opportunity right there, and more aggressively, we would have had an opportunity over here. There's going to be no giveaway today. I'm actually going to announce new rules for the giveaways. We're going to have a larger giveaway, so I'm going to announce that soon. But here we had, an opportunity right here on USAF, more conservatively, this entry, more aggressively would have been this entry. Risk reward would have been a little bit better on that one, but we always got to remember where are our targets on this. If I were to bring on my 4-hour fib, boom, first would be targeting this negative 27 level. And if we look left, this lines up with some support and resistance based on how we mark them. We got support here, resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. So that would be the first level. And then more alternatively, we could target up to these highs, this high right here. It also lines up with our 618. So always remember, guys, mark with, use the higher time frames for your projections, mark your TPs with this higher time frame fibs or higher time frame resistance levels right there. So yeah, this is USAF, it's kind of just flattening out right now. No real opportunity at the moment to get long on this. This thing could pull back a little bit more. It looks like it's fallen over a little bit more. So we'll be patient on that. But again, at the moment, looking at this daily time frame, considering how bullish this is right now, I am anticipating it to push up to this level right here. So we're looking for this thing to continue to push up to that level before finding some more resistance. And again, that's just because DXY is in the same sort of situation. Things pushing up right now. It's got to find resistance at a level. Right now, it's kind of in no man's land. Next level to really find some resistance as upward a little bit more. So let's get on to GU. I want to talk about some entry opportunities on GU that were given earlier this week. First of all, I just want to talk about on this monthly time frame. We were testing monthly time frame overall very bearish. We were pulling back to this previous lower high. We were testing this monthly level, and we got this huge fall off. So this fall off is not completely unexpected. And now we just have to look back and see, where would potential opportunities have been if we really were using these higher time frame confirmations and had that bearish bias in mind. So looking at this higher time frame, we had on the weekly this spinning top candle, reversal candle at the monthly resistance level. That was definitely some confirmation, some indication that we could be heading, downward. But alternatively, down to these lower time frames, daily time frame overall has been very bullish. This thing is in a pullback on the daily. Moving averages have crossed right now. Pretty much the next level that I'm looking for this thing to find some support at is really down here, up to the weekly, more conservatively, or actually all the way up to the monthly. We have this moving average right here, but I think on the weekly time frame, or actually on the daily time frame, we've got this support and resistance level based on these two areas, based on this and based on this. So we've got this level right here. This thing could push all the way down right now into this level, down a lot lower. So looking at the 4-hour, where could we have started to take advantage of this? Well, the 4-hour time frame started to fall over, obviously up here at this cross. More conservatively, this was really key indication that the 4 hours are really shifting. We broke this trend line, and then even later on, we broke this support zone right here, fell below the 200-day. So with that in mind, going down to the lower time frames, early in the week, when the week started and opened, we completely gapped down, had this 1 hour engulfing, rejecting the moving averages right at this monthly level. So this was a very strong confirmation. This could have been sort of the first entry opportunity right there. And then we started to form some support at this level near this trend line. Then ultimately, what did we see? We had a descending triangle start to form. So we had descending triangle, continuational pattern, had these entry opportunities right here. Boom. And then, even more, a little bit more conservatively, we had that one. Where would our targets have been up on this 4-hour time frame? We would have been looking where are levels of support. We had a level at the time down here we would have targeted. Now we've adjusted our targets even lower considering how far it's dropped off. But at the moment, there's no consolidation at the moment. This thing is just at a low. Again, this thing could continue to head lower. This thing could definitely continue to push lower. So we just got to be patient on GU. No opportunities right now at the moment. So we
You
won't look at GU too much today. What's up?
you would need a pretty big pullback and a lower high at that broken zone for any sort of entry now.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, so we would need, considering how bearish this thing is, at the very least, we would need some sort of pattern to form, at in like consolidation right here, rectangles, descending triangles, flags, anything like that. More ideally, we do want the pullback like up here, had this nice pullback to retest resistance. Um, so yeah, we're just gonna have to be patient on GU. Let's go over to EU. Let's go up all the way to the monthly time frame. So on the monthly time frame, again, we're pretty much in no man's land right now, all the way at this high. Just kind of one look on the monthly down to the weekly. We've been hitting resistance, over and over and over again. But the main thing that I'm looking at here is we've been in this ascending channel. We've been in this ascending channel right now, forming higher lows. Um, So we don't actually go down to 5 minute or 15 minute for entries. The lowest time frame that I'll look at for entries is going to be the 30 minute. But we can definitely look at some more entries. Now, back on EU, we've got higher lows forming. These higher highs, though, are getting weaker and weaker. As you can see here, this final one, very weak, even down to the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour was obviously forming higher highs, higher low, higher high, came back, and then we broke out of this level, broke out of this trend line right here. So let's break down a little bit of an entry opportunity. Early this week is when we were moving lower and lower. Volume was very, very low. Then ultimately we had a lot of volume kick in. Then we had a little bit of a pullback. So let's get down to the 30-minute time frame. And again, once we determine on the higher time frames what the trend is, 4 hour time frame turning bearish, daily time frame turning very bearish, all we have to do is get down to these lower time frames and look for pullbacks, like Nick said. So all along this area, we're looking to enter on higher lows, pretty much wherever we are. Ever since this point, we had this low pulled back. We have lower highs forming. Anything rejecting the moving averages, guys. So this cross, red over blue, have all these bearish variations right here. These are all potential entry opportunities. Even here, we had this pullback, then we had the cross again of the moving averages, and then we could even move, where's our next opportunity? We had this pullback, forming this lower high right here, another pullback. Ultimately, we had these bearish variation, this evening star, and then this larger fall off candle. Boom, and every time that we're taking short opportunities, we're putting our stops above the lower high, above what we're entering on, and we're looking at the higher time frame. So we're bumping up to the higher time frame. Where is the higher time frame target on this 4 hour time frame? As we started to fall off from this level, the target has always been this monthly or this weekly level all the way down here. That's what we've been targeting. So again, first opportunity would have been right there. Then we can get in this next opportunity, stops above this level. Would we have gotten stopped? Maybe. Still good entry opportunity. We could have moved our stops to break even once this thing got to 1-to-1. That's sort of a rule that we always do. So we had that opportunity right there. And then, more aggressively, we had this lower high that formed, stops around 30 pips. Again, always targeting that higher time frame level, bumping up to the 4 hour, targeting that weekly level of support. So as we get down to the lower time frame, we can see it's just very choppy right now on EU. But again, even down here, this trend is just very bearish. On the 4 hour time frame, obviously momentum has shifted. So this is bearish, red over blue, maintaining moving averages, then all the way to the daily time frame. This is where we gotta really use time frame correlation. Right now we are bullish overall. We're waiting for a pullback. and we could put on our fibs. Let me just take out all of this, clean up the charts a little bit. We can fib from our previous higher low. And then again, first level would have been here, didn't pull back, move it to this level right here, didn't pull back far enough. We can move it up to this level. And then ultimately, our fib came all the way up to this level. We've got our 38.2 all the way down here. So this thing could fall quite a bit. You know, this thing could fall a bit lower. Everything's indicating that it could right now.
Yeah.
So
Also, playing into some pattern analysis, this is like an ascending flag, which shows a weakening of a trend.
mm-hmm.
You know, it just strengthens the idea that this is going to pull back a little bit, or maybe fall a little bit lower.
Yep. So yeah, as the 4 hour, you know, we had this ascending channel right here. This thing broke. You know, targets on EU, like I said, first target right now is this weekly level. You know, we're looking for this thing to continue into that level. And then beyond that, you know, we really just have to target where's the next potential level of resistance, turn support, and all the way up onto this weekly time frame. You know, I could bump up here. We got the moving averages right here. So this thing could really find support at that weekly level. Beyond that, I mean, this thing could fall a bit lower. So this thing could retrace quite a bit. You know, look at this monthly time frame. We've got the moving average right at this 618 level. You know, so this thing could fall, like I said, a bit lower, you know, all the way down to that level right there. And I imagine we'll see some sort of pullback, some sort of structure form on the 4 hour or the daily to actually confirm that. But, you know, right now, the trends, the momentum, just very bearish. You know, this thing on the 1 hour, on the 30-minute has been making lower lows and lower highs. If you're trading this more intraday, there were definitely opportunities to get in on this. And again, you know, entry opportunities always at lower highs, guys. You know, entry opportunity here at this lower high. Whenever this thing pulls back, shifts momentum from bullish to bearish, or from bearish to bullish, and then crosses back over, you know, that's when we're trying to get in on entry opportunities. So let's go over last but not least. Let's hit NU. Let's go all the way up to the weekly time frame. You know, weekly time frame on NU. Let's take this off. Boom, take that off. All the way up to the monthly. So monthly, we're retesting this resistance level right now. We got the cross and moving averages. So we've been getting pretty bullish on this. You know, we've been bullish for 5 months now on NU. But, you know, we are hitting this resistance level right now. Weekly time frame, retesting this lower high. We had this demand zone drawn previously, the supply zone drawn previously up here. Boom. So we're right in that zone right now, down to the daily time frame. Daily time frame still bullish. You know, we're looking at daily structure. Daily structure doesn't break until down here. How does the giveaway work? How to participate? Everyone gets for free. Hey, so there's no giveaway today. I'm going to announce new rules for the giveaway. We're going to be doing it a little bit different. We're actually going to do a bigger giveaway that we've been doing instead of doing it as frequently. So I will announce that very soon. So on this daily time frame, you know, daily time frame making highs, higher low, higher high, higher low. You know, right now we're kind of in no man's land. We're pulling back a little bit. This thing could head lower. You know, if we look at the 4 hour time frame, it's the same thing. You know, just made this new high. We're in this pullback, but we are maintaining the moving averages. We're very bearish all the way down to the 1 hour time frame. You know, 1 hour time frame. Bring on our fibs. We're pulling back. You know, 618 level lines up well with this demand zone right here, or the supply zone. So we could see this thing continue to topple over. My targets on NU are really at this point all the way down to this level right here, this daily demand zone. Because as we look on the weekly time frame, you know, this thing is testing this weekly level of support, this weekly lower high, pulling back. We are seeing some resistance, you know, off this moving average, but this thing has been getting pretty bearish on us on this daily time frame. So we just have to wait, guys. We just have to wait for some structure to form. Don't switch up, you know, try to just read structure as best as you can. But as this 4 hours starts to topple over, read that into the daily time frame, you know, see where your targets are, and, you know, just be patient. Be patient. So that is all that I'm going to go over. I'm going to pass this over to Nick.
Awesome.
That's
Appreciate it. Good analysis, Angelo. Guys,
uh,
there's a ton of value in there. Like, it's actually unbelievable how much he went into, how much detail.
hell yeah.
So let's just reiterate a little bit on DXY. Angelo covered that for you guys, primarily bearish on the higher time frames, but we could see on the 4-hour that it's kind of breaking out of this descending channel, pulling back quite a bit, and is now kind of in no man's land, as Angelo put it. So the next key area of resistance is pretty much right here at 94 flat. If we don't see a reversal here, this thing is going to be pretty much out, going towards higher targets, towards higher time frame key resistance levels and so on. So really, this is the zone that kind of determines what's going to happen. Are we going to break higher? Are we going to see a reversal? If we see a reversal, this is still very much bearish. Then we could then resume the overall trend and start looking at some bearish opportunities out as we see structure form on other pairs. Okay, but for right now, we are definitely bullish on this time frame. This is a ton of momentum, right? We got past this zone right here, 93.3. So we're actually breaking some lower highs. So we're definitely bullish on the 4-hour until we see something different. I actually don't even have my MAs on. All right, so we're definitely bullish until we see something different. We need to see a strong reversal, MA cross, transition. We need to see some lower highs below these zones. And then we could confidently say that we're back to a bearish trend. All right, so for the time being, we know this is bullish. Let's move on to AU, AUD USD, daily time frame first. Let's take a look. Okay, so super bullish, right? And this is recently bullish on the daily time frame because if we look to the left here, this was very much bearish, right? Super, super bearish, huge corona spike, huge bearish momentum, falls off down to this monthly zone, then pulls back. Very strong 4-hour trend. And this was still very much bearish until we saw this monthly zone break, because if we look to the left again, this was our prior lower high. So this zone, this is pretty much just a 100% retracement, 100% pullback, and was still bearish until we saw this zone break. So ultimately it did break. This is then a daily transition from a bearish trend to a bullish trend, and this is where we would drop down time frames, get a close look. All right, so we're on the 4-hour. This is where we're going to start identifying some, potential setups, potential, confirmations that would lead us to drop down timeframes again, and then get in on some, lower timeframes. So get in on some good setups. All right, so this is that transition that took place. We broke right through the monthly here. This was that initial break on the left, gave us a higher low, and then gave us this kind of, ascending channel here. Good volume, good trend, lots of higher lows, what we want to see. And then we saw a huge rally. So this huge rally took place here, kind of surged all the way up to 0.74, then pulled back. We saw price action, stop here. We found some support at the 61.8, but then it didn't have the momentum to continue higher, so it actually pushed back, pulled back to the 200 EMA at 88.6 fib level. So this is a good sign. We dropped to the 88.6, got a ton of rejection. This is still technically bullish. It is a higher low, right? But what do we need to see to enter, right? This is what we want to see. This is good. We have good volume, we have good rejection. This is good first step in identifying a very nice potential trade setup, but we're not there quite yet. We still need a few confirmations. So conservatively, I want to see a break of this bit of structure here, this lower high. I want to see a transition take place at the zone, 0.7275, and then I want to see a higher low. Okay, and then on this higher low as well, where I will be looking for entries, right here, right, and only here. This is the most conservative. Like, you could take an entry down here, but again, there's more risk involved. Nothing has broken. You have 3 bullish candles. It's one variation. Nothing has broken. Nothing here has said the trend is changing from this 1-hour bearish trend to a 1-hour bullish trend. Nothing has shown us that yet, but that's why we want to wait for this break. Because once this break happens, this is a confirmed transition. It's resuming the overall bullish trend here, and we could catch the beginning of a really nice, strong move up to key resistance and negative fib levels and so on. All right, so this is what we're looking at right now. We'll keep you guys updated. We'll be posting in premium analysis as it gets closer to execution. And yeah, we're ready for it. This is going to be a good one. All right, so let's talk about the flip side to going long. We're looking for potential short scenarios. What do we need to happen? What do we need to see? Right, we need to see significant breaks of higher lows and lower highs below support tested as new resistance. Okay, so that means down here, this orange trade path, I want to see a lower high down here. This would be the first step in a major transition. And then we can start considering shorts. So obviously we want to see a lower high below this zone, 0.714. And then more importantly, it'd be a larger transition if we saw a break of 0.705, this monthly zone. So this would then be resuming. If we saw this happen again down here, this would then resume or go back to a daily bearish trend. So this is where the transition would take place from this daily bullish trend to a daily bearish trend is once we saw this break, right? Lower high below that zone, and then we're short. Then we're really short. All right, but until that happens, guys, very much bullish. Just another higher low that we're forming now. It's looking pretty good. Feeling confident about this one. All right. Let's go ahead and go over to AJ. Next pair. All right, this one is looking very similar to AU. Let's go to the daily time frame first. Primarily very bearish until we saw a break of this monthly zone, which happened very recently. We surged right through key resistance at 76 flat and 76.5. Surged right through it, hit an upper trend line, and then pulled back. So let's see if this is going to continue higher or if it's going to reverse. Okay, so here's that ascending triangle at key resistance, 76.5. Right, this is where we broke through. We rallied all the way to 78.5, thereabout, just shy of it, and then it pulled back. So notice where the pullback has come to, right? Right back to 76.5. Broken resistance, now testing as key support. Also the 88.6 fib level, 200 EMA. This is an area of a lot of confluence, so a lot can happen here. So we're anticipating some sort of reversal, like we're seeing right now. Let me clean this up a little bit. Let me get rid of that. This. All right, so drag this over. Clean this up just a little bit. All right, so we are reversing from the 88.6 key support. Perfect. So what we need to see to go long is essentially a transition. I would love to see a sort of lower high here. I'm just going to use the brush. If I get a lower high right here, some sort of rejection, right, that's a confirmed lower high. Now we can get some consolidation. Then we want to see a break of that. So ideally, this is what we want to see. I want to see it reject right here, consolidate for a little bit, and then push up, breaking through this lower high, test it as new support, and confirm a higher low. On this higher low is where I'm looking to enter, right there on like a bullish setup or something. Okay, so that's what we want to see, and then we're long. Ideally, that would be very, very nice to see, but any sort of transition through the MAs, confirmed higher low is what we want to go long on. All right, and then once you see that, we can target higher towards key resistance, towards the negative fib levels, like this target right here. And there we go. And this lines up just with like really well with AU. Pretty much exactly same entry strategy that we're looking for is just a transition, confirmed higher low, and then we're long. All right, so this one could be a really nice trade. Just need to see that momentum. I like this exhaustion down here. A lot of rejection. Definitely what we want to see, but it's got to show us a little bit more than we're in. Okay, so that's AJ. Let's talk about short scenarios real quick. What do we need to see? I need to see a break back below 76.5, and I need to see a confirmed lower high below 76.5 or this monthly zone. Then we can start looking at short opportunities again. Okay, but if it does break below 76.5 again, this could be headed towards a daily transition back to a bearish trend. So we'll be ready. We're not going to get into anything too early. We really want to wait for those confirmations because we're not trying to get screwed out on a trade over here. So we're just going to wait. Looking good so far. It's setting up nicely. It's a nice pullback, good retracement. Let's see it continue higher. All right, so that's AJ. Let's move on to UJ. Daily time frame first. We know this one is super bearish, right? Gigantic descending triangle, kind of squeezing price action more and more and more until we saw this break. So we're actually getting a lot of lower highs, pushing price action through the monthly support, which we saw over here, retested, and then gave us this pattern. So we have another descending triangle right at the monthly zone. Let's drop to the 4 hour and get a closer look. Let's see what these chat are saying. Okay. All right, so giant descending triangle right here, right? So we are primarily bearish. We're going to continue with that trend overall. Keep that in mind. So we're looking for lower highs to enter on. We're not going to take an entry right here. I'm not going to just short because this is a descending triangle. I want to see the right confirmations. And for this one specifically, we have to be very careful because we've been bit a few times on this already. I think we got 2 break-even trades or 1 loss on this because we keep getting these fake pushes, right? So we're getting this bearish leg, we'll get a pullback, it doesn't have the conviction, they keep pushing lower, and then it just pulls back. And this is just a lower time frame pullback and doesn't really have any significance. So I really want to make sure we get a confirmed lower high below the monthly zone on this 4-hour time frame with nice bearish setup. So not like this. This is not ideal. There's tons of exhaustion here. We don't want to see that. We want to see more volume than this over here, right? And then no bullish candles. I want to see a nice transition through the MAs, lower high below the MAs, and below that monthly zone. So we're going to wait. We're going to wait. We really want to see those right confirmations, and then we're going to target lower because this could be a really nice trade, well over 2 to 1. All right. Target lower towards 0% and even lower towards negative fib levels, down towards this weekly, and the negative 27. So guys, this could be a massive trade. We're really going to be conservative on this one. Kind of just wait for it because this is much like we're on the 4-hour time frame here, but this is a daily move, because this is breaking a monthly zone. It's breaking out of this giant triangle here. So this could have a ton of momentum. Could definitely find us damn near close to negative 27 in weekly zone. All right, so we're just going to wait on this one. Definitely bearish. Nothing here says bullish to me until we get well above 106.7. So if we see price action surge all the way up to here, give us a higher low above 106.7, then I'll change my bias from bearish to bullish, okay? But until that happens, we have tons of lower highs, tons of strength in this bearish trend. Nothing here says that we're transitioning just yet. All right, so we'll continue looking for shorts, and we'll be ready for those confirmations. All right, so that's UJ. Next, we got EJ. Daily time frame. This one's looking pretty good too, actually. All right, so daily time frame. Overall, we were very bearish. If we zoom out, you could just see this giant descending channel, right? And then we saw a transition take place once we broke through 121.25, confirmed a higher low, right in this area. Tons of confluence between the MAs and the 200 EMA, and then surged higher, shot all the way up to our monthly zone around 126.5, gave us a double top, and then pulled back. So on that, let's drop to the 4-hour and see what potential trade scenarios we can identify. All right. Okay, so here was that rally up into the 126.5 handle. This is that double top, pulled back. We were expecting some sort of bounce from 125.3. That would have been really nice transition there to enter long on. Didn't see it. Instead, it pulled back. And now it's getting close to the 38.2, which is good, right? We want to see price action hit the 38.2 and then reverse from there, right from here, which is also at our 124 support zone. So from right here, we would like to see 38.2 hit, and then ideally, I'd be looking for the first break of a lower high. So we can get other lower highs if this continues to consolidate. But for right now, I just want to see price action get above 125.3, break of a lower high, confirmed a higher low, and then we're long. Okay, so right now this is looking pretty ideal. Okay, targeting higher towards key resistance, negative fib levels, and so on. All right, so that's what we're looking for, confirmed higher low. That's what we're entering long. Right on a nice setup right there after the reversal. Okay, and what I meant by entering on a break of a lower high after consolidation is this could go sideways for a little more, right? This could go sideways, giving us all these lower highs, and then it breaks a lower high like that, let's say. Then you're entering on the higher low, right? Break of a lower high, enter on a higher low. That's what I'm talking about. So that's what I want to see, in terms of a transition. Okay, so that's EJ, long opportunities. Looking pretty good. Just need to see a few confirmations. Guys, a lot of these pairs are pretty ready. They're pretty damn close to entries. You just need to see a few more confirmations, and then you could take some entries. All right, so let's talk about short scenarios. flip side to this, what do we need to see to happen for us to, confirm a change of trend and confirm some short scenarios? That would be a break of 124 flat and a lower high below this zone, right? We want to see it turn from support into resistance, get a lower high, rejecting off this resistance zone, and then we're short, entering on some nice bearish setups, targeting lower towards deeper fib levels and major support and so on. All right, so EJ is looking pretty good. Good movement in this. Pretty much what we want to see. And we'll keep you guys updated as we get closer to execution. Okay. So last pair I prepared for you guys is gold. This thing is just going sideways. Daily time frame to start. Identify the trend. Super bullish. Nothing here says bearish momentum whatsoever. Let's go right to the 4-hour. Okay, so now we have this giant descending triangle, right? We're getting a ton of lower highs, and then lots and lots of support and indecision at 1925. Okay, so this one's pretty straightforward. I mean, we know we're bullish overall. We know we're going to only look for long setups until we see some sort of transition happen. And we're just here consolidating in 1925. So we're just going to stay with the overall bullish trend. What do we need to see happen for us to get into a nice conservative long opportunity? Transition, right? That's what we need to see. We want to see break up this pattern. A confirmed higher low outside this pattern, right at this new support would be perfect. And then enter on a bullish setup. Target towards the prior high and the negative fib level, negative 27. All right, so that's very simple. Whether it's going to happen or not, we'll see. But the way that this is playing out, it's very, very simple, very easy to see. Great example. But let's talk about short scenarios for a second. Or not short scenarios, but deeper pullbacks. Let's say it pulls back outside this pattern. It goes to a deeper fib level. We could see a reversal at the 61.8. So this trade path here. Or we could see a reversal all the way down here to 1800. Right? And the funny part is, it could pull back to 1800 and still be bullish because of how much it's moved recently. Right? If we just zoom out, this is so overall bullish, it's not even funny. Right? This could pull back to the 786 and still be very, very much bullish. Give us some good entry opportunities in there. Again, we're just looking for a break of a lower high, nice transition, confirmed higher low. But yeah, gold is crazy interesting. It is so high up here, it's unbelievable. So super bullish. So yeah, we're going to wait on this one. We're just going to wait. Not going to take anything prematurely. Just want to see those right confirmations, and then we're long. Because there's a lot of movement to be. Damn, this is going to be like a 4-to-1 if this executes. But yeah, guys, this is it moves a lot. We're just going to play it safe, wait for the right opportunity, and then execute as we see it develop. All right, guys. So quick recap. I covered DXY, AU. Look, here comes DXY. Pulling back. AU, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold. All right. So those are all the pairs we prepared for you guys. And I think we're going to talk about some updates or. Oops. Can't hear you.
Yeah, so we're going to start doing a different giveaway. Here, let me share my screen. Boom. So yeah, we're gonna update the giveaways. We were doing them every day for $50. We're gonna do a larger giveaway. In order to enter, pretty much you guys can enter. There's gonna be multiple entries because it's gonna be given at the end of the 2 weeks in the middle of the month. But pretty much to enter, just go into the public section. Just write one thing that you guys learned from this session. And it won't be announced today, but it will be announced soon. This is gonna get you an entry into that giveaway. It's gonna be for $200, the giveaway. And again, it's just gonna be a consolidation of the daily $50 giveaways. So yeah, if you guys want to enter, just post in here what you guys learned from today's live session, just one thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So just post in here, tag me and Nick. That'll get you guys involved for the giveaway. In regards to any sort of sales or promotions or anything going on, no updates on that for now. We're just going to keep working on our ends. Tomorrow we'll have another live session for you guys, and any more updates we'll let you guys know. So yeah,
Absolutely.
Appreciate you guys coming on. For you new guys, if you have any questions, just shoot us a message in Discord. Discord is the best place to contact us. Instagram is kind of saturated with the
Yeah,
messages. Yeah, with the
a lot
messages.
of like, yeah, it takes too long to answer too. So yeah, Discord is definitely the best spot to reach out to us, guys. And thank you again.
Yep.
You
So I
know,
hope you guys have a good rest of your day, rest of your night. For people that are all over the place, good afternoon, whatever. And we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow.
all right, enjoy the rest of the day, guys.
Peace out.
Peace.